Secretary of State Anthony Blinken stated publicly, Nicaragua is no longer a flawed democracy. The global response to the January 2025 constitutional reforms was swift and fierce. Within 48 hours of the law passing, the United Nations Human Rights Council issued a formal statement condemning the move. Their assessment, according to Reuters, accused Nicaragua of institutionalizing authoritarianism under a dynastic model that violated the Inter-American Democratic Charter. UN special rapporteurs were even more blunt. One report described the reforms as a parliamentary auto-coup, a manipulation of legal tools to extinguish democracy without a single shot being fired. The Organization of American States, or OAS, despite its increasingly limited influence over Nicaragua since Ortega withdrew in 2021, called for emergency consultations and sanctions, but the measures were largely symbolic. The European Union took a stronger line, as El País reported. The EU renewed its sanctions package against Nicaragua for another year, freezing assets and banning travel for top officials, including Murillo and Ortega's children, many of whom occupy senior government roles or lead lucrative state-affiliate businesses. Meanwhile, the U.S. State Department announced expanded visa bans. Over 250 individuals linked to the regime were targeted under the Global Magnitsky Act. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken stated publicly, Nicaragua is no longer a flawed democracy, it is a personalized tyranny disguised in legalism. But perhaps the most telling reaction came not from politicians, but from corporations. According to regional analysts cited in Geopolitics Unplugged, several multinational investors, including Canadian mining firms and Spanish telecoms, quietly began pulling out of Nicaragua. The reason? Risk models could no longer quantify the political volatility. Contracts were now subject to the whims of two people, whose domestic power was unchecked and whose foreign policy leaned increasingly towards alliances with authoritarian regimes like Venezuela, Russia, and Iran.